What is going on, everybody? It is me. Ace is coming on for his own little special edition of a podcast, pretty much. We're gonna just have some fun here. Hopefully, the comment section comes live and good. I'm gonna post the link on Twitter in a moment from my account because I can't get into the penalty to talk account from right now. So yeah, we're gonna do this, talk some MLB, NFL, college football, NHL, and NBA. Might mention some FAMU stuff, unknown at this point. Chad and Dalton might be joining me later this evening. I don't know yet about them. I haven't heard from them in a minute, so might just be me, might be them. I don't know. We're gonna figure this out going on tonight. JP ain't with us tonight and kind of like on a break, if you know what I mean. So he's on a little hiatus, so it's just gonna be me for right now. Yeah, so just hop on the comment section if you're watching and interact. We're gonna have fun looking at you drunk and Ashton. Y'all can come in the comment section. We're gonna chill, vibe, all the goodies. Gonna probably talk recap week 4 of the NFL. Some interesting stuff, some really pathetic stuff, some not so bad stuff. That's just how it goes. College football, we got Ole Miss winning a throw. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. Couple big games this weekend over in the Midwest. Well, Texas, pretty much, but NHL season starting in less than a week. NBA preseason is starting next week. Also, NBA had media day, I believe Monday for everybody. Everybody was Monday, so training camp is now officially on for the NBA. We're gonna talk all that goodies. But yeah, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. We're gonna run this intro, and I don't know why these colors are like really orange, but we'll figure out the backgrounds. I'll deal with all that while we're going through the intro. See you on the other side if I can find the intro. There we go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash.
This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
I gotta remember to put I'm live and not we live because it's pretty much just me. But yeah. Alright, give me a moment to post this link. I was trying to fix the background and audio and all that goodies. So just bear with me for a moment while I deal with all these things that I'm trying to run a solo show right now. Which is not fun, by the way. Well, it's interesting. A little challenging. Alright, what do you want to start with? I guess we could start with. Actually, you know what? Let me do some MLB talk. Alright. The Rays got eliminated. They got blasted. They didn't get eliminated. They got their butts handed to them by the Texas Rangers. They lost 7-1 today, 4-0 yesterday. So shout out Texas Rangers moving on to the ALDS. Good for them. The Rays look bad, beat up, look like a team missing a lot of key guys. Which they were, but no excuses when it comes to playoff time. You make it this far. It was good to see Randy Arozarena applaud for the few fans that did go. I mean, people were bashing the Rays for their lack of fans attendance for this game, but let's be real now. It was a 3:00 game on a weekday in St. Petersburg. I mean, people are going to be working. Kids are still going to probably be in school because school doesn't end until 3:30 over there, just like in Tampa. And there's not going to be a whole lot of people going unless they take the kid on to really diehard baseball fans. So I really don't see what this whole discourses, trying to embarrass Tampa and showing that they don't have fans. Like, you just saw it with the Lightning in Orlando playing hockey yesterday. They had over 16,000 fans in attendance. It was almost 17 actually, but still, it was like 16,900. Anyway, so the Rays now, they had about 19,000 on average for both games, where it's kind of like, well, you're trying to say the Rays don't have fans, but like, there's a sports fan base in the state of Florida. It's just, if you're a good team, they're going to show up. I mean, the Rays are a good team. It's kind of hard to get to St. Pete during the day while you have 17,000 people showing up in Orlando in the night. They will drive the distance. It's just, you got to be good. It's got to be at a decent hour. And baseball is like a giant stadium, so it looks more empty compared to a hockey arena. Well, in this case, Amway Center, which is for basketball, really. But still, it's kind of. I mean, are you gonna really fault the Rays for this? I mean, it's like a weekday playoff game. Like, how much can we really consider thing? All right, Chad said he can't do tonight. Next time, so that's one down. We'll figure it out next. Who's next? I don't know about Dalton yet. Yeah, where was I? Okay, yeah. So St. Pete, weekday it's gonna be hard for people to get down there. That's all I gotta really say about that. I don't know why people are trying to make this into something really isn't. Now, on the other hand, there's also the fact that all three Tampa teams, you had back in 2020, 21 technically, but anyway, you had the Bucks win the Super Bowl, the Lightning win the Stanley Cup, and the Rays made it to the World Series, right? That was in 2020, I believe, 2021. One of those 2 years that happened, right? Well, this year, the Bucks lost in the first round to the Cowboys. The Lightning lost in the first round to the Maple Leafs, and the Rays lost in the first round to the Rangers. All three teams, all lost in the first round this year. Not great, but like, what are we gonna do about it? So it's kind of like whatever almost. It's just not the year for Tampa teams. You win some, you lose some kind of thing, where it's basically that. It's not something fans like to hear, but it's like, you can't win them all. You can't win all the time. Look, I mean, New York fan bases have had a rough go at it. I mean, they haven't been relevant since the league's had more than 10 teams, had less than 10 teams in them, pretty much. Well, the Knicks kind of, Rangers kind of. Ooh, we have a comment. I don't know who's in it. What is this? This is baseball talk. I'm just trying to breeze through the MLB playoffs kind of early and quick. My little special episode. Because, J Peeps ain't here, so. Drunk wanted us to talk football. And, of course, I'm gonna do it. So we're talking some baseball right now. We're gonna talk NFL, college football, NHL, NBA, maybe some HBCU. I'll see. It depends on the time. I can't run too late today. I have some stuff I gotta take care of later. But yeah, with that, I mean, so yeah, we had the Rays lose. Let me check my other stuff here. You have the Diamondbacks and Brewers playing right now. The Brewers are up 2-0. The Twins beat the Blue Jays, so I believe that means that the Blue Jays have been eliminated as well. So the Minnesota Twins are now in the AL. Oh god, my brain's having a brain fart right now with the conference division they're in. They're also in the ALDS too, as just in the central side. The bracket said they will play facing, I believe, the. Gosh, I'm forgetting. I believe they face the Rangers. I'm not entirely sure yet. I don't know how it works. The Orioles will be getting the. No, they play the Astros. I'm stupid. It's FAMU versus Southern. We can JP ain't here. Ah! You should tell him that next. You should DM that, Ashton. You have fun with that. FAMU versus. I mean, it's FAMU versus Southern, but I'm gonna be real with you. I really don't think FAMU should have. They should take it seriously. Don't get me wrong, but like, you kind of like. I have confident faith that they can handle business against Southern. So, yeah. So back to the baseball thing quick. Astros will be facing, I believe, the Rangers, while the Twins will be getting. Astros will be facing the Twins, and the Orioles will be facing the Rangers. There we go. Cool. The other game right now, well, they're not done yet, so I'll let you know on the NL side of the bracket. But yeah, that's pretty much all the baseball talk for me. I really don't got much to say about it. All right. Which one should we do next? Let's do NFL. Give me a second. All right, NFL. Just running through this stuff. Okay, so let me put up the banner, actually. Sorry, Ashton. Cool. So, as we know, Monday Night Football, the Giants got embarrassed, pretty much. Daniel Jones was under constant pressure, and he didn't help himself out with his, how do I say this nicely? Tunnel vision? Staring down receivers, making it very easy for the defense to pick it off, not holding on to the ball, even though you're under pressure a lot. You can't really use that offensive line as an excuse when you see what a certain quarterback down in Texas is doing right now. Just saying. But I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. But yeah, back to the Giants. They're a disaster right now. Brian Dable's blaming Daniel Jones, even though his offensive line is a disaster. His defense can't tackle for anything. And it's been a complete crap show, pretty much, over with the Giants. So, I don't know really what to say on them. They're pretty embarrassing right now. I don't think Dable will go onto the hot seat this year. I do believe he will get through the season. He will make it through the season no matter how bad it gets. Now, Daniel Jones, on the other hand, he might get replaced, even though they gave him a contract. If they get like that number 1, number 2 overall pick, I would expect them to take Caleb or Drake May. That's pretty much what it is. Daniel Jones hasn't done anything to say, okay, I should be kept as the long-term starter after this year. But also, the amount of talent in this quarterback class, it's pretty outstanding and pretty hard not to take a quarterback, especially when you're a team that doesn't have a Pat Mahomes, a Herbert, a Tua, a Burrow. Well, Burrow's hurt, but still Burrow's in that conversation. Lamar, even Stroud now, Trevor Lawrence, Hurts, those guys. Those are the only teams that don't take a quarterback this year. Every other team, unless I'm forgetting somebody who also has a really good quarterback, I probably am, knowing me. But every other team should be in the market for a quarterback this year. I'm going to be real. So let's see. Oh, yeah, Josh Allen, too. So if you're not the Bills, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, the Colts, Texans, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers, Eagles, Packers, and the 49ers, you should be looking at a quarterback. This class is really talented. It's really deep. And I'm sure it's going to have a lot of guys come out and they're going to play and they're going to be good. And it'll be even better if Shadir came out this year, but I don't know if he does because as what we've seen from Dion recently, Dion doesn't want. Well, it's not Dion's decision, but it's also Shadir saying, I prefer to go number 1 in my own class, which makes him think about coming out next year, not this year, because this year he might go at earliest 2, maybe it's probably most likely 3, because of Caleb and Drake May. So there's that to consider, but like the guys in this class are crazy, crazy talented, crazy, crazy good, and have a lot of upside in them. So it's a tough conversation that a lot of teams need to be having. One of those teams, actually pretty much every team in the NFC South besides the Carolina Panthers, need to be having the conversation too, where the Saints and the Falcons definitely need to be having the conversation. The Bucs, even with Baker playing as good as he had the first 4 weeks, Bucs need to have the conversation too about if they need to take a quarterback in this draft, and I do believe they will probably do it. Got another comment. I'll take Brock Bowers over Shadir. Dang. Okay, well, Brock Bowers should be going like top 5. But knowing the league and how stupid it is sometimes, I bet you anything Brock Bowers ends up a Chief somehow. It would not shock me one bit. Chiefs it'd be something Kansas City does, or Kansas City might actually trade up for Brock Bowers. Kelsey's on the wrong side of 30, but like, yeah, Dion want to say for that easy Pac-12, that can also be a detriment sometimes because like that Pac-12 is gonna be so bad next year. Pac-12 this year is the best Pac-12 is going to be, and it's going to be the best competition they play. I know Colorado's going to the Big 12, but that I don't believe is next season. I believe that 2 to 3 years from now. So it's like, I don't really know about that. That's the conversation Shadir's going to have to handle with his dad, because the NIL money is going to be crazy. Yeah, Big 12 Colorado. Yeah, because, Texas, Oklahoma's not going to be there, but like, I don't know if, I don't believe they go next year. I have to check that. But yeah, so where was I? Teams need to have their conversation. Oh yeah, Kansas City, Brock Bowers. Yeah, like with Kelsey on the wrong side at 30, getting older now. I believe he's like 34. I'm checking that drunk. Don't worry. Oh god, I'm in all caps. Crap. When does Colorado go to the big 2024-2025 season? That next year? Oh shit, that is next year. Crap, I thought it was 2025 season. Arizona State, and Utah will all join Colorado in the Big 12 starting ahead of the 2024-2025 season. So that's next year. You're right, Trump. My bad. Now that conference is going to be easy. I ain't going to lie with you, Drunk. That is probably going to be easy. And especially if like a team like, well, I can't really hate on the Cardinals because like Jonathan Gannon got them boys buzzing over there right now, trying to build a culture, even though they're losing a lot of games. Like Josh Dobbs has been going crazy. Okay, but like we can't lie, the NFL is the Chiefs are the favorite child of the NFL. Like, let's be real right now. Like the whole Kelsey Swift thing, like, god dang, they're pandering to the Swifties so hard right now. I ain't gonna lie. So like, it kind of like it's not out of the realm of possibility. And it's like the Chiefs do have all their draft picks, so like it will not shock me if they go and say, "Oh, screw it, I'm gonna go get up and get Brock Bowers." Because after this Kyle Pitts fiasco, well, no, then again, the Chiefs can go give Atlanta like a third round pick and go get Kyle Pitts if they really want him. But like now, if Kansas City goes and gets Brock Bowers, it's like they can go get him if they want him because they got all their picks and stuff, and like they could use him because Kelsey's right there. And it's like you stick him right with Mahomes, and you're like, oh crap, wow, you just went from Kelsey and Mahomes to Bowers and Mahomes, and you're like, oh crap. Like teams like after the Evan Ingram, after God, Kyle Pitts, and like top 10 tight ends don't really happen. I probably was one of them. I don't remember. I probably was. I won't lie with you. I think he had a good defense in Philly, but it's like I thought they would have just straight out tanked. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of felt like Howard's gonna be hurt a while. They're gonna have to pay him like $40 million next year. Makes sense. Just tank the season and go get that high draft pick and go take Caleb Williams. But the man got his players. Big on, and they're grinding every week. They're in it. They're playing better than a couple teams I can name off the top of my head that have higher expectations and are more talented on paper. But dang, this Cardinals team, they playing hard. They're giving you a fight every week. And it's like, I know Shadur said he won't go to specific teams, but like Chicago Bears probably are going to end up with 2 top 4 picks. Well, maybe top. I don't know. It depends on what Carolina does, but right now they have the top 2 picks in the draft, so they're not taking 2 quarterbacks. But that would mean Caleb goes to Chicago, and I don't believe he wants to go Chicago. I think he would hold off because Chicago's a dumpster fire. Let's be real. Nobody wants to go Chicago. Fields need to get out of Chicago, but like, oh, by the way, Drunk, you still in this, right? Yeah. Drunk, we're going to have a conversation about you and CJ Stroud because I think you might have to be giving an apology soon. I ain't know yet. But after these first 4 weeks, I believe you were going to have to be giving an apology out, but we'll get into that in a bit. Okay, yeah, back to Caleb. Caleb don't want to go. I don't think he wants to go either Arizona or Chicago. Like, Arizona is 1-3 right now, right? Yeah. There are a lot of 1-3 teams right now that are better and more appealing than Arizona is. especially like a team like Minnesota. But I don't think Minnesota is going to keep losing. They're going to keep trying to win to keep Jefferson happy. But like, if you have, if imagine if you put Caleb and Jefferson like. I wonder why I'm laughing. I see this. I'm gonna get into that in a bit, but like Caleb and Jefferson on the Vikings kind of sounds like a threat over in the NFC North compared to, you know, Noah Paul. Bro, we're gonna get into that. Let me keep focusing, not get distracted on this. I'm trying my best to stay focused here. You know, I just kind of go all over the place. But yeah, so yeah, Caleb Jefferson sounds really cool. But then you also have the Bears. If they get a bunch of top picks, is like, well, they can also go and get Caleb and Harrison. But then again, there's another team that can go get Caleb and Harrison with the Cardinals because the Cardinals own the Texans' first round pick, but the Texans are winning right now. Where it more likely would seem that like you have a Caleb and a maybe, well, more likely the Cardinals will probably end up with like a Drake May and a Keon Johnson or one of the Washington wide receivers at this point in time because the Texans look like they're winning right now. And if the Texans keep winning, they won't be in range to give the Cardinals a top 5 pick, which would be Marvin Harrison Jr. And it'll probably be like the second best wide receiver on the board. But that's still all well and good. So, like, because, I mean, the Cardinals gave the 49ers a tougher fight than the Steelers did because the Steelers kind of laid flat on their butts. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't know about this with the level of drive for like how much stock you want to put into that Cardinals loss. Because even though they lost, they played great. So it's like it's kind of hard to judge where they would be at mentally if they're actually trying to tank or if they're trying to win. Because like Joshua Doll is probably going to win them another game, and that probably takes them effectively out of the Caleb Williams tank, which they got to be careful of if if ownership's goal is trying to tank while the team ends up kind of like how a Flores situation was, where Flores and the Dolphins were trying to win, even though they were told allegedly to lose games, and they were tanking for Tua, and they still ended up with Tua at number 5, all because he got hurt, and Burrow went crazy. But it works out for them that way because they did win too many more games than they were expecting, and they shouldn't have won, but it worked out for them. Hopefully, I don't know what it works out for the Cardinals. Probably, maybe, who knows? But we'll see on that. Now, let us get into this. No apologies to Stroud. It's all on DeMeco Ryans. I will say the Cardinals coaching, not the Cardinals. Sorry, my brain still thinks I'm talking about the Cardinals for some reason. Don't worry about that. The Texans coaching staff, I would put them in the top 10 in the NFL right now. They have put Stroud in a position to succeed where I didn't expect him to be this good so soon because I thought the Cardinals, why did I keep thinking it's Cardinals? I don't know. Anyway, the Texans coaching staff wasn't going to be as good as I thought it was going to be. And it kind of feels like anybody who comes from that Shanahan coaching tree, it's like their offense is a legit cheat code for some reason. I don't know what it is. But it's like if you run that Shanahan offense, it is a walking cheat code and your quarterback puts up numbers. I don't know why, but the way how he uses motion and designs the plays are better than most of the NFL, majority of the NFL. And it's like Stroud, he's got the worst offensive line in the league. Like people, like the Giants' offensive line is terrible, but he's legit. He has like one starter on the entire offensive line. It's not even a good starter on that offensive line right now. That offensive line is a lot of backups and a lot of guys who would never see the field on a regular healthy team. So it's like he's getting that ball out quick and he's being decisive and he's putting the ball where it needs to be in order to win. Albeit he has had a couple throws where if the guy's right in his face, he does throw it a bit short, which, you know, he's a rookie too, so I put that on that kind of, but also it's like, you kind of want to hit those balls like 4th down against the Steelers this week where it's like, you probably should have hit that ball. You probably should have hit him on that 4th down, but he did throw it at his feet and it ended up being a turnover on downs. But he's putting up some numbers right now that very few quarterbacks have ever put up. And it's like, D'Amico Ryan's got that team buzzing. They got him fully bought in, and the culture that Houston is building is something to be special with. But even if your coach is building that kind of culture, you still need a quarterback to go out and make the plays to win a game. You know what I mean? So it's not only D'Amico, because in this day and age in the NFL, a good coach can only get you so far. You still need a quarterback to get the job done in order to win a game. So, like, there's a reason why, like, Nick Foles is kind of the outsider. Nick Foles is the outsider right now of bad quarterback play getting you to the Super Bowl and winning it. Because, I mean, you saw Jimmy G go and Jared Goff go to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win it. It's like, that team also was very talented everywhere else on every other position. But when it came down to when the money matters in the Super Bowls, guess who's making the plays to win the game? It's Mahomes recently, Brady for a long time. Actually, majority of the time it was Brady. Last two times was Brady, Mahomes. Matthew Stafford made some key plays in the Super Bowl to win the game. So, like, even in the regular season, it's the same kind of thing. Like, the quarterback has to go and make the plays to win a game. And it's like, it's like kind of with the Saints too, is like, I want to blame Dennis Allen for all the issues on the team. Pete Carmichael for all the issues on the team. But you got a quarterback going and throwing the ball at Chris Olave's feet. You got him overthrowing guys who are wide open. You got him missing wide open balls. You got him throwing over the heads to nobody. You got him throwing into triple coverage. It's like, you can blame the coaching staff all you want, but the quarterback has to make better decisions than that. And it's like, everybody wants to blame the coach and the coordinator, but it's like, quarterback's just as fault too for that sometimes. Also the offensive line, but then you got some teams where it's like, quarterback's is getting over the offensive line issues, whereas, the team can't get over a bad quarterback. You can get over a team can survive in the regular season with mediocre quarterback play. Maybe. You can maybe get this Super Bowl with mediocre quarterback play. Hell, Kirk Cousins wasn't mediocre last season. He was above average, more or less. He's still kind of above average. He does make some really stupid decisions, cost him in games sometimes. But it's like, you kind of still need the quarterback to make the plays to win a game. And, like, Derek Midar is not winning that, making those plays to win them a game right now. So it's like, when the Texans play the Saints next week, don't be surprised if the Texans beat them. Like, I know the Saints playing the Patriots this week. Christian Gonzalez is out, but also they brought in J.C. Jackson. But Derek Carr was limited, but he was throwing balls at practice. He was limited today, was the report, right? God, QB throws balls at practice. He does his job, guys. That's what he does. He's supposed to throw the football. Like, I don't know why this is the big thing. If you can't throw the football properly, then don't play in a game, because you're only costing your team when you can't throw the ball properly. And teams know you can't throw the ball properly, and they sit on every single route. And then you're so stubborn, you can't throw it to a crossing route in the middle of the field. And you only check it down to a running back who can only get 2 yards because everybody knows where the ball's going. Oh, wait, didn't that just happen? Oh, yeah, go back and watch the Bucs Saints. That's exactly what happened. So, that's all I got to say with that. Even though the coaching is terrible on the Saints, but, like, the quarterback ain't helping either. So, that's all I got to say with that for right now. What else I have? Speaking of bad coaching, like, Chicago Bears, kind of mentioned this earlier with the memes that Drunk was saying. Which one was it? I gotta find it now. No, not this one. This one, right? Yeah, the memes on the Bears do look delicious. Yeah, if the Bears lose tomorrow night against the Washington Commanders, I fully expect Eberflus to get fired. Okay, you want to get into J.C. Jackson? All right, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back to that. Just remind me, Drunk. Give me a second. All right, Bears. Eberflus is getting fired if they lose to the Commanders tomorrow, because after that disaster, you ruin a outstanding game by Justin Fields. That was his career day in that first 3 quarters, and then you go and you call a play call where it's a naked bootleg of where he goes and turns around and goes the other way. And by the time he turns around, that guy you left unblocked went and smacked him in the face. And a fumble happened and it was returned for touchdown, right? Okay, fine. It happened. Move on. Give your quarterback, who has been playing outstanding this whole game, the ball back and let him go win the game. Not give him a ball 2 times in the last 13 plays your team had in that game. That was just malpractice coaching at the finest, highest levels. And like, you saw Fields after that game. I wonder if I could pull up a photo of it and y'all can see what I mean, because that man looked genuinely heartbroken. Like, if you just see his face, he looks so sad. Okay. You want to get into this too? Because this is also a fair point. Poles needs to get blamed too, because I mean Poles gave basically a first round pick for Chase Claypool and is gonna probably cut him less than a year later. Is this the photo of it? I mean, this is not the one with him staring out, but it will work. Give me a second. Let me open image in a new tab. Open link in new window. Cool. That's not what I wanted, actually. He traded Claypool, drafted Field. No, he didn't draft Fields. God, who was the other guy? God. He's on the Falcons now, I think. Poles didn't draft Fields. It was a guy with Nagy. He got canned the same time Nagy got canned. But yeah, Fields wasn't Poles' draft pick, and that's why I think he should get traded, because like Fields wasn't his guy, and I believe he probably wants his own guy. Okay, yeah, I found the photo of what I want to show. No, I don't want settings. I want present. Share screen. Window. Here we go. Oh, crap. Here we go. What it show? Yeah, this photo here, man. This man looked genuinely heartbroken after this game. Like, I don't know how long it will take until Fields requests that trade, but man, that trade request needs to hit, because like he putting everything out there. Okay, yeah, he's safe because he didn't draft Fields, but like it's not Fields' fault for this point. At this point, like we kind of saw it last week. Like he threw that pick, but like that was a miscommunication between him and the tight end, because the tight end was supposed to keep going and the tight end sat on the route, and Fields anticipated him to keep throwing, which I don't blame for. Okay, but DJ Moore's not even AJ Brown's caliber, which was kind of the ironic part. Like DJ Moore is like, even in the Panthers' best seasons, he was never like, he was wide receiver 1, but he wasn't. How do I say this? DJ Moore is a wide receiver 1, but he's not an alpha wide receiver 1. If you know what I mean, like AJ Brown, he's that X receiver alpha. He can actually take a team and elevate it. You know what I mean? Where like, look at Tyreek Hill. He's an alpha wide receiver. You have Garrett Wilson's probably going to be an alpha wide receiver one day. Olave would be one day. Jefferson is another guy kind of like thing. CeeDee Lamb. Those are guys who could take a team and go and elevate them. But like, are we celebrating Fields scoring on a defense that gave up 70 in the previous week? Yes and no. Because the Dolphins scored 70 on that team, but then this Broncos team also is the same team that kept the Raiders to 17. DJ Moore's Calvin Ridley without a gambling habit. High level wide receiver 2, not a top dog. You're sitting with Jacksonville right now. Calvin Ridley is not a top dog. Good comp. Well, actually, I'd say he's more yak than Calvin Ridley is. Calvin Ridley can go and get contested catches, while DJ Moore is more of a yak guy. You know what I mean? It was like, Moore can take it 2 yards and go to the house. Calvin Ridley can burn you deep and go 30 yards and take it to the house. So, but neither guy, they can't go take double coverage and go win. You know what I mean? It's like you could bracket them, but they're going to disappear if you bracket them. And they won't make big catches when they need to make big catches. Because, like, in the Chiefs game, right? Fields threw a deep ball to DJ Moore and he dropped it, right? Chicago got away with a touchdown to this week because DJ Moore had the ball, but he didn't get 2 feet down. He swung his foot and it never got down. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro? And then somehow the refs called it a touchdown. I'm like, Hold up, that is not a touchdown. Even I would admit that. So I didn't know about that whole thing, but yeah. All right, where was I? We talked about DJ Moore. We talked about Fields. Eberflus got to be gone. That whole team collapsed in the second half. So like, how do I say this? It's a disaster over there, but this can probably be worse. Fields to Atlanta. They got to fire Arthur Smith to do that. Arthur Smith won't use Fields properly. I'll say that straight up. Fields can't use Arthur Smith. He needs actually how do I say this? Not even a Shanahan coaching staff quarterback. Just get him Ken Dorsey. That's probably his best bet from the Bills. Ken Dorsey's probably his best bet. As a guy who coached Josh Allen and knows how to get quarterbacks on the run and use the full talent of the player and not have them drop back in the pocket 50 times. If you know what I mean. So it's kind of like you need the right coach for Fields. And not a guy who is outdated in his play calling and doesn't use players to their full abilities and uses them as decoys. Looking at you, Arthur Smith, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. All right, no, back to what was it I wanted to get back to? What was it? Did I say I was gonna come back to something? Oh God, now I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, JC Jackson, that's what it was. Yeah, JC Jackson, like, man. Stephon Gilmore, I don't know what happened with him. He was the only guy who left New England and was somehow still halfway decent. Like, most of these guys, when they leave New England, man, that system covers up a lot of flaws with them. New England's a team that takes a player's abilities and puts them in the best position to succeed. If you know, where it's like, okay, you're good at man coverage. You will play exclusively man coverage. You're not playing zone at all. We're not playing something where you're not especially good at. Where some coaches, they build a scheme and they have the players force them to fit that scheme. So basically the phrase, fit a square peg in a round hole. That's what most teams try to do with their scheme and players. Where in New England, it's, okay, you are our square, you are a circle peg, you're going in this circle hole, and you're not going in no other spot. You have one spot and one spot only. That's the spot you're playing, and you're not doing nothing else but that one spot to the best of your abilities. That's pretty much what Belichick tries to do. Even though, god damn, that team sucks. Well, Gonzalez is good too, so except he's out for the year, which is kind of rough. But it's kind of like, well, you got the guys, but they're hurt, so now you got to get JC Jackson back, even though he won and got this big contract and he played terrible. He's coming back, and he's probably gonna. Well, he's more of a. I don't want to say he's a man corner because he gets beaten man. He's more of a zone guy, where he can play coverage, off coverage, and not try to deal with speedsters. He will get burnt. But if you have him in zone coverage, kind of like how Richard Sherman, he was better, kind of. Belichick been doing with Trav since 2004, but nobody believes. See Deion Branchford. Yeah, this is what I want right here. Pretty much. It basically is kind of. Bill got some shady stuff going on up in New England, I swear, sometimes. I don't know what he be doing. He probably is doing some witchcraft for all I know. That would be getting these guys playing cray-cray. But, okay, so yeah, we talked that. What are the games for this week if you want to, or we'll do that later. Let me check. So yeah, I would not be shocked if JC Jackson gets a pick 6 this week, especially if Carr plays. Carr's been playing so bad. I wouldn't shock me if JC Jackson gets a pick. All right, where's the NFL? Some key games is Ravens, Steelers. Kenny Pickett's supposed to play that game. Ravens should be obliterating them, even with all their injuries. Would not shock me if the Cardinals beat the Bengals this week. But I'll talk about that at the end of the episode. Cowboys 49ers is part of game of the week and the only good game this week. Oh yeah, one thing before I go. Cowboys 49ers, yeah, that's gonna be. Let's see if they actually do anything. Yes, I did. I believe I talked about that right before you came on. It was at the beginning of the NFL segment. I talked about Dable's trying to blame Daniel Jones. Like, he's focusing his anger at Daniel Jones, where he's like, Daniel Jones ain't been playing good, so it's kind of warranted, but it's like, damn, that offensive line is terrible. No, he has no running game. A lot of people said I would show up for the A special, and a lot of people, hey, you on the A special. It's all good. It's all good. We talking about stuff. So we're having fun. It's all good. Yeah. So yeah, they will blame Jones, but the offensive line is terrible. The defense can't tackle. They're getting beat every other play. So, I mean, I know you want to blame somebody for your team's issues in losing, because losing is not fun, and when you lose, somebody wants to get blamed for it. But like, you can't be taking it out on a guy you just paid all this money to and decide, okay, that's gonna be our franchise guy. So it's rough in New York right now. But on the other side, Daniel Jones has, how do I say this? Daniel Jones last week was the worst quarterback in the state of New York. Zach Wilson was surprisingly not the worst quarterback in the state of New York yet last week. Zach Wilson was pretty good. Josh Allen was the best one. Let's not get this mixed up or anything. But Zach Wilson saw Taylor Swift or Donna Kelsey in the stands and said, hey, let me go turn back to my BYU days and try to play good. To go get some stuff. You know what I mean? You can fill in the blanks on that. But, yeah. Zach Wilson, his ball placement against the Chiefs was, how do I say this really good? Really well done. I don't want to say elite, because elite's not a word I like to throw around too much, but it was above average for the first part. Free Jalen Hyatt. Bro, Jalen Hyatt, let me be real with you. Jalen Hyatt could probably run 2 routes, maybe 3, max. Bro is a guy who can go straight line, slant, out. I don't know if that's pretty good. If you do those 3 routes, fine. That is pretty much what DK Metcalf is. DK Metcalf can only run go routes, slant routes, and out routes. That is it. Bro can't do nothing else. You want to put Jalen Hyatt in that role, man? By all means, you drafted this dude in the 3rd round, and you got Daniel Jones throwing it to Isaiah Hodgins and Paris Campbell and a bunch of bumps. Let's be real. That is the Giants' wide receiving room, and Darren Waller is not worth what they gave up for him or what they paid him. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, Zach Wilson, good ball placement last week. And the fact that you're seeing all these players come out and defending him after Rodney Harrison basically called him trash. Well, he did call him trash on the internet. I'm going to get into that one in a minute. Let me finish this Zach Wilson thought I have before I lose it and I forget. Where Zach Wilson, he played good, and a lot of players went up and actually stood up for him on the internet and said, hey, man, this guy's actually not that bad. Like Chris Jones, Micah Parsons, and a couple other guys went out and they defended Zach Wilson on the internet and on TV with Chris Jones when Rodney Harrison was calling him trash and was trying to get a response out of Chris Jones. And Chris Jones said, nah, I ain't doing that pretty much. So shout out Chris Jones for that, by the way. But also, you know, you had the video of Zach Wilson saying, it's my fault and I effed up. And it's kind of like, the whole world was saying, hey, bro, that was not you. I mean, you dropped the ball, but like that's just something that all quarterbacks sometimes they just have that moment where their brain just doesn't click and they drop the ball. And it's like, well, it happened, but it's like he fumbled that ball with 7 minutes left. The Jets got screwed in that game. They just probably should have got that ball back. But damn, that was a drive. It's like you got 3 20-yard plays on 3rd down. That's a backbreaker. This part is true. Ended up on the wrong. Viral moment gone wrong. That's pretty much what it was. So, yeah. Okay, back to this. They told me AJ Brown can only... Oh, wait. I mean, you're not wrong, but, like... When he was the reason why they lost the game, he didn't take fault, and when he wasn't, he did. So, it's kind of like, you know... I feel bad for him sometimes, but it's like him and Fields both played really well for their respective games, and they both it already, doesn't. They both lost, even though they had really good games. So hopefully both of those guys take it and build on it wherever they go in their careers. So hope for the best for them. All right, back to this. Told me AJ Brown can only run streaks, and turned out that was right, and he's a monster. AJ Brown committed about 3 felonies to the Washington Commanders defense in that game against the Eagles. Let's be real. Like, Emmanuel Forbes got a welcome to the NFL moment. I felt bad for the kid, rookie year, and he got torched like that by AJ Brown. But god dang, AJ Brown went crazy. He made Emmanuel Forbes kind of regret coming out into the NFL this year. Poor dude deactivated all his social media accounts. Bro was heartbroken, which was rough. But yeah, AJ Brown, like I said, he is an alpha wide receiver. There's wide receiver 2s, wide receiver 3s, wide receiver 1s, and then there's wide receiver 1 alphas. And AJ Brown, like one of them alpha dogs. He will take your team and take it to the next level. Even DK kind of, but DK is kind of like, DK doesn't get to show much. I mean, Gino's there, but Gino's not going to give you high volume every game. Hey man, DK, bro, both of them is like some specimens, to say the least. I ain't saying too much onto this, but all right. Anything else? I'm gonna talk about the NFL games for this week more in depth at the end of the show. So I'm gonna take it over college football. We gotta talk about Ole Miss going cray on LSU's defense. LSU almost came back down the field and won it, but ball went through the wide receiver's hands and lost the game. So rough for them, but Ole Miss showed some stuff on offense, but the defense, both of those teams' defenses are terrible right now. So I don't know how much stock you can put into this, but LSU's got Missouri coming up this week. There's a couple of big games. Ole Miss got Arkansas, but Arkansas is not doing too hot right now. FSU, they had I was gonna hope to talk to Chad and Dalton on this, the other Florida guys on here, for the Florida Power Rankings, where it's FSU, Miami, and USF are the top 3 teams in Florida right now, in the state of Florida, and not UF, because UF has been a dog crap show. But yeah, so big games this week. We have the Red River Showdown between Oklahoma and Texas. Is it Red River Show or Red River Rivalry? I don't know. It's one of those Red River things. Anyway, Oklahoma, Texas, Cotton Bowl. Dylan Gabriel's been playing really well, but Quinn Ewers been playing extremely well. And if Caleb Williams didn't exist, Quinn Ewers would Missouri will beat LSU. I ain't taking that bet. Missouri looking different this year. Missouri got some dogs on that team. I ain't taking that bet. We did SEC Power Rankings. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, Drunk, but I believe we had Missouri number 4 in that. I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kentucky was 3. I gotta go back and check that, but I can check that right now if you really want to. But yeah, so it's we have Missouri pretty high up there. Missouri was number 5, so it was Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and Missouri. I ain't taking this bet, Drunk, because I kind of agree with you on that. Not a hot take, because I think so too. Missouri got some dogs on that squad. So yeah, that was one of the big games. You have Oklahoma, Texas. Quinn Ewers, if Caleb Williams didn't exist, would probably be a Heisman favorite at this point in time. But, Texas is minus 6.5 point favorites right now. 81% of the bets are on Texas, which isn't surprising. Probably is going to be Texas winning this game. Oklahoma's good, but they're not great. Texas is probably going to beat them. And then you have Alabama and Texas A&M coming up also. So 2 big games in Texas right now. The Milrose Show versus Jimbo Fisher and them boys. We know how that ended last year. Texas A&M. Didn't Texas A&M win that game? I think. No, they didn't win that game. Alabama's only 2 losses were what? LSU? No, Texas A&M beat them last year. Texas is the biggest fakes in college football. Well, they might be the biggest fakes in college football, but I don't think Oklahoma beats them. Like, I don't take Texas seriously. I don't think they're gonna win a national championship or anything. But neither is Oklahoma. So that's kind of my logic behind it. Oh, I forgot to switch the ticker. Nobody reminded me. Or change the background. Whoopsie. Okay, yeah. Texas A&M versus Alabama. I believe. One. I know A&M won one of the games last time, but this, not Texas. I want Texas A&M. Damn it. Texas would have beat. Yeah, so Alabama won last time, but I believe A&M won the year before. Yeah, A&M won the year before. Alabama won last year. So it's been a tight games recently, and I think it will continue to be that way. I think it'll probably be a one-score game because Alabama's not the same Alabama this year. They're not like dominant. So it'll be a tough game, I think. But yeah, other than that, there's not really major games this week. Virginia Tech, Florida State. I'd keep an eye on that game. You never know what Virginia Tech always gives Florida State trouble. USC should be fine this week. Oregon and Washington is next week. That'll be the fun game to preview. But we'll be back with run and gun scheduled programming for that game. Maryland, Ohio State, another game to keep an eye on. I don't believe in Cal McCord, but somehow Ohio State will win that game probably, which sucks. Because I want To'ola. I can't say his name. Don't ask me to say it. Tolola, something like that. Tagovailoa. He's been playing really well. Maryland's 5-0 right now. I think Maryland will give him a run for the money, but somehow they're probably going to win that game. Ohio State, I mean. So, kind of sucks, but whatever. Anything else from college football? No. All right, cool. Well, since Chad's not here, I'm gonna keep NHL short and brief. All right, cool. NHL the season starts Tuesday. Preseason going on right now. The Lightning backup goalie team, that's pretty much Johansson and Tompkins. Pretty much, they're just figuring out who's gonna be the last forward between ABB, Alex Barré-Boulet, Austin Watson, and I forgot his first name already. Maroa. This guy's last name. I forgot his first name. Don't ask me. He's only been here a year. I don't know it. But yeah, those are the final roster spots. I kind of already talked about the attendance stuff over there. Anything else to talk about NHL? Oh yeah, Trevor Zegras got paid. Good for him. He got 3 years. Anaheim's gonna regret that decision. Bro's gonna go crazy and demand like $10-11 million, and they're not gonna have it because they have to pay other guys. So they're gonna get screwed on that. Given that it's just me tonight, I mean, unless Drunk wants to chime in on the NBA season preview, James Harden showing up to training camp for Houston, surprisingly not in a bodysuit. If you know what the bodysuit, you know what I mean. If you already know it, if you know, you know, kind of thing. What he did when he showed up to, I believe it was, did he show up to Houston or Brooklyn with it? I'm forgetting. Anyway, showed up in that bodysuit and he got himself traded from that team because he didn't want to be there. But Harden might chase himself out of the league at this rate. You got to be careful with that because teams ain't gonna put up with this stuff. What he's been doing, trying to force his way off teams to go to whatever team because he gets mad for every little thing. People ain't gonna want to deal with that, so he needs to be careful on that. Dame, Giannis might be the best duo in the NBA right now. Booker, KD might give him a run for your money. Tatum, Brown, but the Celtics, like, they got Drew Holiday, but like, man, I don't think Tatum ain't winning a ring like that. I still don't think a Tatum Brown duo is gonna win a championship. I don't. Well, I'm gonna say this now, and knowing my luck, it will probably end up with the Celtics winning the championship this year. But like, it's just something on how they complement each other, and like, they've gone through all these all-star third string teammates, and they somehow have yet to win a ring. Kind of feel like Tatum's only 24, right? 24, 25. Brown is like a year older than him. Maybe 2 years from now. 27 is generally when players start winning. Even LeBron had to wait till he was 27. Jordan was like same age. It's like you gotta wait till that certain spot in your career and then you start winning. Like, I don't think this is the year that it happens for them. So there's that. Man, keep an eye out for that Joel Embiid trade request. That's gonna probably hit soon. I give it less than a year. Because that if Philly starts off rough, oh boy, that Embiid trade request is gonna hit really hard. It might be ending up like a KD situation where KD got traded at the deadline. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Golden State's going to start Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. That is... How do I say this nicely? Barbecue chicken for opposing teams. That defense is going to be terrible. Steph Curry and Chris Paul might be the worst defensive backcourt ever. I ain't going to lie. It's going to be terrible. Chris Paul's like a traffic cone at this point in his career. That's not going to work. I'm going to just say it. I don't think it's going to work. Chris Paul ain't winning no ring. Ain't nobody cares. All right. Anybody else in the NBA worth talking about? The Lakers. Everybody would be talking about the Lakers. The Lakers ain't winning squad either. So let's keep that out of the way. I know a specific thing Drunk mentioned not to talk about this week's episode, so I'm not talking about it. But I will talk. Pelicans. The Pelicans, like, come on now. Zion's got to stay healthy for them to do squad. Thunder, they're not winning this year. They're still too young. Chet's got to put on some weight. Bro looks skinnier for some reason at media day than he did when he was a rookie, which makes no sense. He was supposed to be in the gym all time he was healthy after the foot injury, but still, should have been healthy. Should be in the gym, but looking actually skinnier for some reason. Jaws hanging around the Grizzlies, I mean, that's not a big deal for me. I really don't care. It's keeping the chemistry going, so when he does come back after 25 games, it should be a seamless transition. Kings gonna make noise like always, but like the NBA is probably never gonna let Sacramento win a ring anytime soon. For some reason, I don't know why, but whatever. Jokic not playing much basketball for the offseason really didn't bother me too much. That was something people were talking about. But, like, I mean, Jokic could be out of shape and still somehow drop 30 and 10. 30, 10, 6 on you. So, like, really not worried about him. But also, yeah, pretty much for the Western Conference, like, KD, Booker, Beal, no defense, but they got a lot of depth players now, so kind of depth, but like Luka, Kyrie, they might not play defense, but they can put up a ton of points, more than Steph and Chris Paul, so not really worried about them. Oh yeah, Ben Simmons is supposed to be back in form with the Nets, but like, come on now, is anybody really taking Ben Simmons seriously until he actually, plays really well? So there's that. Yeah, that's about it. Let me just run through these NFL games and I'm gonna head on out because like not really much else to talk about. Hit on all the points really that we gotta hit on. So cool. Yeah. Let's run these games and get on out of here. My voice is starting to go anyway. Bears, Commanders. I'm gonna take the commies in this one. Bears are a disaster fire. Chase Young's gonna wreak havoc, probably with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat. Hey. I ain't talking about it. You said not to talk about it. That was the deal. I ain't talking about it. I ain't need that. I ain't talking about it. You're not catching me like that drunk. No. Jaguars, Bills. I'm gonna still take the Bills. Jaguars have been non-existent pass rush. I don't know what's up with Jacksonville. Jacksonville's got some issues. They're still working out the kinks in the offense. You trying, but you ain't getting me. No, 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 no. You should have done it while I was talking about the NBA, not when I'm talking about the NFL games for this week. It's kind of on you, drunk. You kind of fumbled the back on that one. Might have had me. Had a small chance of getting me back when I was talking about the NBA. But I've already moved on from the NBA. So now it's kind of like, you might not get me now. All right. Giants, Dolphins. That might be a 50-point ball. I'm going to be. Giants, Dolphins. Oh my God. Tyreek and Waddle and A-Chain might just go crazy. Every time I pick the Jags, they lose this, right? Wait, you picked the Falcons last week? Really? You thought Desmond Ritter was gonna beat the Jags? I don't know what to tell you, bro, but geez, oh my God, you took at that point. I mean, you took Desmond Ritter's so bad. That's embarrassing. All right, yeah, Giants, Dolphins. That might be a 50-point blowout. I'm gonna be real. Minimum 40. That game's gonna get ugly. Panthers, Lions. Lions might steamroll them. Aiden Hutchinson's gonna have no, don't need him. Not getting me that time. Trying too hard now, drunk. Panthers, Lions. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson's gonna have Bryce Young seeing ghosts. So I'm gonna take the Lions in that. Ravens, Steelers. Kenny Pickett's gonna be banged up. Like, I don't know what to say. Pittsburgh. Matt Canada gotta go, man. He's not developing Kenny Pickett the way he should be. And it's showing. So Lamar looks good. He's looking efficient, keeping it clean. So yeah, can we take the Ravens in that one? Saints, Patriots. On paper, the Saints should win this game. But the Patriots have been terrible too. So I'm gonna take the Saints, but it won't shock me if the Patriots win it. I want them to, but like whatever. So yes, the Saints winning that. Titans, Colts. Jonathan Taylor might make his return. Kind of interesting to see how Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson running would work, rushing. So yeah, we're gonna blame everybody but Tomlin for his Steelers being below mid. Now Tomlin kind of hasn't ever had any season below mid, so it's kind of hard to have him as the reason for them being below it, because at worst he's been mid. IB and Saints fans chats and they already calling for Jameis back. Bruh. Jameis ain't the answer. Carr ain't the answer, man. Their answer is gonna be in the draft. Neither one of those guys. Like, how do I say this? I was talking when we were having the meeting this week for the power conference, the conference power rankings thing. I was showing them something where it's like, if I was Jameis, when Carr quit that game. Olave quit in like the third quarter. He was fed up with them underthrowing him and not getting the ball properly, so he kind of quit. But like Carr forced his way onto that practice field Friday, forcing some to practice, forced the coaching staff to make that decision to play him in that game. He should have been judged like he was healthy and not using that shoulder as an excuse. And then he went and he left the game before the game was over. Like, he quit on the game basically and said, "Take me out, I'm done." Like, and Jameis came in. I'm like, Jameis should not be coming in this game. If you force yourself to play this game, you should have finished that game. You were healthy enough to play that game. You should have not had to leave that game unless you got hit, and you didn't get hit. Because the offensive line played really well this week. Carr didn't get hit a lot, and he still played terrible. That's on you, bro. Like, Jameis came in the game and threw the pick. I'm like, hey, if I was Jameis, I would have thrown that pick anyway. I would have said, bro, you put me in this game. You don't want to play me, but you played him. But now you want me to come in this game and finish this game for you, man. Screw you. I'm not gonna give my effort in this game. Go throw that pick and make it easy so I can come and get out of this game. I don't blame him for that. Bengals, Cardinals. I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this one. Pass rush gonna give the Bengals issues. And Burrow's so obviously hurt. Burrow can't even stand up properly. It's kind of rough to watch. Eagles, Rams. Cooper Kupp's making his return, but I still think the Eagles win this game somehow. because Rams secondary got gaslit by Anthony Richardson. So like I'm not really worried about it. Chiefs Vikings. Yeah, Chiefs. The Vikings defense ain't that great. I'm gonna be real. So yeah, Chiefs winning this game somehow. As long as they don't talk about goddamn Taylor Swift every other play. Jeez, I can't watch any more of it. Jets Broncos. Yeah, that's a good bounce back game for Zach Wilson. Oh, bounce back. It'll be a good game for him and Garrett Wilson to get going. You know, so that'll be fun. I'm taking Jets in that one. Defense is gonna have Russell Wilson seeing nightmares. Packers Raiders. Like, I'm gonna take the Packers. Devontae Adams beat up, and like Josh McDaniels is throwing his rookie 4th round pick quarterback under the bus for a bad executed play that's really not his fault. Because Jacoby Myers didn't even turn around. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers for Monday Night Football. And Texans Falcons. Texans gonna blow out the Falcons. Falcons are terrible. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me tonight. And you know, the Ace Special Podcast. Shout out Drunk and Ashton for showing up in the comment section. Drunk kept it going because I would have probably got bored in here. So thanks, Drunk, for that. Yeah, so like, share, subscribe, be a friend to a friend if you're on Twitter. I mean, this was fun. I think we can all agree. My voice probably got tiring up to the end. My voice ready to go give out anyway. It kind of hurts. From talking for, let's see, 1 minute and 6 seconds. So, yeah. I'm tired. I got some work to do, so I'm going to head out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Penalty Talk season. God dang. Is it 7 or 8? I have no idea what season we're going to be in. Might have a guest next week. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Back to your regular. God dang it. Let me restart. All right. Back to your regularly scheduled programming next week, and I will see you then. So stay safe, stay blessed. See y'all then. Back on regularly scheduled programs. Oh shit. I forgot to end the stream.